Everyone, welcome back to a new post today, and today let's discuss the most important issues that you need to keep track for October 14th with regard to the UPSC Preliminary Civil Services Examination of 2025. So we all know that the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change COP29 is going to be held in Azerbaijan, that's Baku, and this is a UN process for negotiating an agreement for limiting the dangerous changes to climate. It is an international treaty among the countries to combat dangerous human interference with the climate system. This is what the treaty says, and the main way to do so for limiting the increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. It was signed in 1992 by 154 nations and came into force in 1994, 21st March. Now the main objective is included in Article 2 of the convention, which says stabilization of greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere at a level that would prevent dangerous anthropogenic interference to the climate system. Now this, along with many other documents, were adopted at the Earth Summit. The Earth Summit, or the United Nations Conference on Environmental and Development, or also called as the Earth Summit, or the Rio Summit, was held in 1992. Now when this summit happened, the following documents were adopted, that is the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, Agenda 21, Forest Principles, and legally binding agreements such as the Convention of Biological Diversity, the COP of which is going to be held in Cali, Colombia. The Framework Convention on Climate Change, that's the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. It also agreed on the United Nations Convention on Combating of Desertification, which became effective in 1996. So what exactly is the significance of COP29 Baku? Now COP, or the Conference of Parties, is the highest decision-making body of any convention, and even the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Now it was in July 2024 that Azerbaijan introduced something that is called as the Climate Finance Action Fund, or CFAF, in Baku, seeking $1 billion in annual contribution from those countries which produce a lot of fossil fuel energy, and companies as well. The fund will invest in renewable energy and support climate projects in developing countries, with half of its resources aimed at meeting the members NDCs for 1.5 degrees centigrade. Azerbaijan signed the Paris Agreement in 2016 and it ratified it in 2017. In 2018, let me tell you, a student-led NGO, Okios to Baku, called for a model conference called as COP 23.5. The event led to the simulation of the real United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change processes, serving as an extended version of the model UN, focusing mainly on climate negotiation. The goal of COP 23.5 was to train the young leaders in Azerbaijan, equipping them with global skills to engage in climate-related discussions. This initiative marked a significant step in raising climate awareness and also fostering leadership among the young Azerbaijans. In December 2023, Azerbaijan was announced the host of COP29, and at the Bonn Climate Change Conference in June 24th, a new collective qualified goal was agreed to, and the adaptation indicators which will be discussed at COP29. And it was in July 2024 where Azerbaijan introduced the $1 billion annual contribution starting from itself, which is called the Climate Finance Action Fund. So the Climate Finance Action Fund, I told you, was created by Azerbaijan. So what exactly will this Climate Finance Action Fund do? It will invest in climate action in developing world. It will be capitalized with contributions from fossil fuel producing countries and companies across the world in oil, natural gas and coal. Azerbaijan is the founding contributor. Members will contribute and transfer annual contributions of a fixed sum. The fund is an initiative as a package of 14 steps announced by Azerbaijan recently in July, and it will be a catalytic public-private partnership fund mobilizing private sector and de-risking investment. The fund will also contain special facilities and concessional grant-based support for rapidly addressing the consequences of natural disasters across the world. And what exactly is this new collective qualified goal that is being discussed? Now, in 2009, the developed countries agreed that by 2020, they would mobilize $100 billion per year for supporting the developing countries. in climate action. And this goal was met for the very first time in 2022, 2 years later than 2020. But the negotiators are working now to develop a new goal, this time setting their sights on higher investment. When the countries signed the Paris Agreement, they decided to set up a new collective qualified goal on climate finance to replace the existing goal of $100 billion per year. The new collective qualified goal is meant to be adopted at COP29 in Azerbaijan, and this new finance goal will channel further greater funds towards climate action in developing countries. It will support low carbon, climate resilient solutions in energy, transport, agriculture and other vital systems. So these are some of the important points that I thought I should be discussing with the October 14th. If you did find them helpful, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you tomorrow in October 15th and 16th. Until then, it's very happy learning.